So what got me started was we had a state museum in South Carolina, and I was just doing it to kind of volunteer and do something nice for the community. And they asked me to do tour groups. So I started doing these tour groups and taking groups of students in particular around the museum. And the kids were just like going nuts over everything and just getting so excited over all these stuff that I thought was really neat too. And I realized that, you know, it was something I was really interested in doing professionally, and really trying to engage kids in education and seeing as something fun and interactive. And I was sold, and within a couple months I went back to my advisor and switched my major over to education, and that was that. You know, I was looking for a really active area to teach in, some place that seemed to value education, that seemed to be having an engaged community. And my brother had moved to Richmond, and so I was kind of venturing around the area, and I knew of UVA being here, and I visited, and I fell in love with the area, and I knew this was a place I wanted to teach. So I interviewed around for a little bit and landed my first job here, and then later on found Sutherland. This was Northrop Grumman had kind of offered to send something out to the community saying, hey, we want to take some kids and an educator to space camp. So we had our kids on their own applied and got a spot, and then I applied and I got my spot. And it all happened in the end that they were two of my future students in my science class, and actually this is pure coincidence, they turned out to be our president and our vice president of our school council. They applied long before they got that spot, so it was just this huge coincidence. So it was this really awesome opportunity for the three of us to go get to know each other at the same time, and you know, learn what Space Camp has to offer for education. My goal as an educator was to really learn a lot, and then to bring it back to our community, because NASA has so much to offer to education. And matter of fact, they have this whole initiative that whatever they're doing, they try to bring authentic lessons that can relate to things that they're doing in real time. So, like, for example, they're crazy into trying to figure out how to get an aircraft to go back into an atmosphere without burning up, right? That's always been a problem of making sure that you don't burn into ashes when you re-enter any atmosphere. So they had us do an experiment where we tried to build our own heat shield that would survive like a blowtorch to kind of reenact it. And in the meantime, they show you, hey, what you're doing is real, because here's what we're doing, and here are the techniques that we use to keep our astronauts safe. So there's a lot of experiments, a lot of things to bring back, but of course they also had all the simulators, you know, the really exciting part. So I did everything from parachuting down a zip line to flying the space shuttle, to being on a moonwalk where I'm 1/6 my own weight, which was wonderful. It was nice to feel light again. To, you know, endless activities. I mean, it was nonstop. I was chosen to be the commander of the orbital, so I was completely in charge of flying and operating our space shuttle into space and docking with the ISS and then coming back to Earth. And it was this 2-hour mission, and they do insane things to you. It's not as simple as just clicking buttons and go, you know. Huge problems come, and, you know, warnings are going off, and, you know, you're flipping through your books trying to go, oh my gosh, what do? We can't fail. And like, you know, you forget for those 2 hours that you're just in a simulator. It feels insanely real. And at the same time, you're working with other people, and you're problem solving, and you're relaying with people not only in your shuttle, but with the people on the ground at the ISS. And we're all working together to make it a successful mission. And at the end, we land and we're safe, and everyone's fine, and everyone comes out of their parts of the simulator. Everyone's just high-fiving and congratulating each other, and just so excited and proud that we had accomplished this challenge. And we were so proud, and I think that's something I won't forget. That was probably like one of the coolest moments ever. So, Space Camp really inspired me to do a lot more things in the classroom. Matter of fact, the one thing that our kids are getting ready to do right now is to do some of the NASA activities. They're going to do the heat shield thing, where they will try to build their own heat shield to protect our astronaut, who's an egg, from a deadly blowtorch of re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. So, they're excited about that. But in the meantime, we're building that engineering kind of concept to really have the kids have that background and being able to accomplish these goals and these challenges. So right now we are studying building our own vehicles and crashing them at the end of the ramp, and they're having to engineer and re-engineer their vehicles that they've made, from laser cutting to 3D printing to household supplies, whatever they wanted. And their goal is to make their little egg survive. So actually, I guess we're going to have a whole bunch of egg challenges this year, and just trying to let eggs survive. So it's fun. And aside from that, we're really just kind of building that knowledge base that kids will be able to do more and more engineering activities. So many opportunities in science engineering, so many different fields, and you don't have to like all of them. You just have to find something that you enjoy and just run with it, go with it. It's amazing how far one idea can take you through life, and that can make all the difference in the world. So just keep on exploring. It's all about discovery. It's not about being right. It's about the journey and what you gain from it in the end. And that's the whole thing about science. I would go back in a heartbeat. I hope to go back. I hope to bring a lot of kids there. It was too much fun.